Okay, part 2 of the epic saga. I didn't realise how long the first part was going on for. I looked at the time. The euro pound weekly. Now this is a bullish ABCD, and what happens here? In order for this to break the sequence, we need to break that ABC. So we need to get higher than 91033. Once we have done, we'll create a harmonic. So we'll see if we can draw something like this, and then like that. See how this D completion has to be higher than ABC. It needs to be higher than that. So I think we'll probably go to about 9152 and then down. But we're above this 38.2 on the weekly. Zoom out perhaps. So it's pretty bullish on the weekly. There we go. Ascending channel. It's 50% line. That's your halfway point between those two zigzags. So we can get that line. Yeah, it's 38.2 on the weekly. There, 89.60, and we closed 89.68. Perhaps if we break this, it's a long wick. That's quite bullish, bearish. Sorry, it's quite it's a bearish hammer. It could fall down, perhaps. And this is the pivot. So if we fall below the monthly pivot, then that'd be quite good for a bias. But overall, it's bullish in so many different ways. We'll go to the daily. Let's have a look at zoom out. So we've got a bullish ABCD on the daily. We've broken that there. Just calculate from that bottom there. See how we bounced off that. So that could come into play again. We could see another bounce because we are above the monthly pivot, but break below, that would be interesting. Send a pitchfork for bullish ABCD. So you see, I think there's like 94% of people are selling this pair, so it's going to be hard for it to come down when there's so many stops to be taken. If it goes to 9105, then it will take the stops out, I'd imagine. This area here is how it does that harmonic again. So X, A, B, C, D. D has to be higher than that. So that makes me think it's going to go all the way up there, 9153. So, and then that would be your sell point. Maybe it hits the 76.4 diagonal. So perhaps 9169. Maybe. H4. It's a bearish free drive. This is one I put on Twitter. I said how it's causing grey cells all over the planet. It's just it won't come down. We've got a bearish free drive, but we're above the pitchfork by miles. This is like a normal channel, and we broke it there 23rd of May, Brexit related. And of course the retail, they sold it. That made it continue to go up, but we've got a bearish free drives, and that invalidates at 9052. Okay. H1, bearish dragon, center pitchfork, and a bearish harmonic. Resistance, 8982. So that's quite good using these shift pitchforks because you get lines of confluence. So there's a support line, resistance, and we've got that median line that points to 89937. So that would be a good point to sell. Down it comes, and we've got that as well to back it up. Well, we're below that channel, and we've got 76.4 support, which we held on to. And We'll go to the Euro Swiss just briefly because this was our signal. I recommended that we sold at monthly support 1, and we waited, and it was a good trade. We had the signal to sell. Just proves that patience does pay out. Hopefully he caught it. I got into this when it broke, so I'm holding. So there we go. And we're just below the pitchfork there. I won't go too much into detail because no one really trades this Euro Swiss. But yeah, it was a good trade. Just shows your patience is a virtue. Dollar Swiss on the weekly, we've got a pitchfork break. The bearish dragon, diagonal support. And we're just below the monthly pivot. So a weekly candle there, we close below. So that projects more downside because we close below. And we're below the pitchfork support. But yeah, so who knows really. They might just ramp up price. We could have like a risk on scenario on Monday where stocks rally and this will go up. So something to bear in mind. Just keep an eye on the risk on, risk off. Same thing, the daily, close below the monthly pivot, which should be bearish. I've got a descending pitchfork with a bullish ABCD, which is there. Boom, 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 buy. So that channel there, a daily. They're quite good, this soup, because without it, you wouldn't know where these levels were. No one would have a clue. So it's an approximate line. It's not exact, but it hits there. So there's like a resistance, and we're below the monthly pivot too. So it would have been a good point. You're looking for things to make you more confident about the trade. If you see something like that, and perhaps if the sentiment changes as well towards it being a sell, that would really help. So you've got 3 things aiding you in your sort of forecasting. Support 1 is quite far, 9651, possible. So we've got that channel break there. H4, bearish 5.0. I've been going on about this one for a while. So bearish triangle. Okay. There we go. So zigzag, 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 zigzag downwards, and we're below the pivot. And this line there is interesting. So we're below that line too. And we'll go to the hourly. Okay, broken pitchfork, bearish Gartley. There it is. So on that time frame, the hourly is bearish. Okay, some support there on the shift pitchfork. It's projecting down. Go to gold now. On the weekly, we've got a bearish butterfly. This invalidates at 1456. So if we break above that, then we'll skyrocket. But that's the resistance line that I'm looking at there. Again, we've got a channel that we can create there. Oops, that's wrong. Delete that. This one. And then maybe zoom out. So from that line there, is it taken from there? Yeah. Got an ascending channel, but with a bearish butterfly. So I mean, if it breaks that, we can hit 1502. And this is obviously some supply up here. You note where we closed. There's that line there, so this line that's interesting. It's 1435. So just look to the left of your charts and you can see where the resistance and supports are, especially on the high time frame. So we know there 1392 is going to be a good support, and that's going to be a good resistance, but it's a bearish butterfly. But there's a ascending pitchfork, it projects really high, so we do have to be careful. Daily is a bearish ABCD, probably find the same levels. Yeah, these are those lines from the weekly, and we're within the pitchfork, still above monthly pivot, and R1, so that's a confluence there as well. I sold up there 1450. That was a good trade. I think made maybe a 1500 pips on Friday just from that. Go to the H4. Oh, that's weird. So yeah, we're above pitchfork, same sort of thing, resistance and support, bullish ABCD. Oh, it's there. Okay. Alright. So not much to say about that really. It needs to come back within here, ideally, if you're selling it. And then we've got H1, bearish butterfly. Same. Create a channel. We've got some support there. It's interesting. It looks like it hit that exactly, which is really weird. Yeah, it was pretty much exact. See how the 38.2 came into play on that zigzag? And then the 61.8 on the hourly. So yeah, that's just too spooky. Resistance and support there. So yeah, do download the Zoop indicator. It's worth it. It's so powerful. That's not a coincidence, I don't think. But yeah, pending we break this, then we'll fall down here, and then we'll test that support on the weekly at 1392. So this could be a good trade. I don't know how the retail sentiment is on this. I think they're still bullish. I think on Friday it was 48%. So that means it's a buy. So we have to be careful. And we'll go to the monthly, and then that wraps up the part 2. So this is interesting. This candle wick for June. We're below that now, and we're above the Kumo cloud. The trading price is in Kumo cloud. See, what's really bullish is if that line, I don't know if you can see it, make it a bit thicker perhaps, that goes above Kumo cloud, then that's really bearish, but we're within turbulence now. So if you can think of it like a plane, we're within the cloud. So it's hard to trade, but the current price we're above. And I'll just go through the different time frames in the Ichimoku. Supports, cross, which is bullish at that point. So had we have gone long, 1281 would have done quite well. See how that cross appears? So go to weekly. Yeah, you would have gone long there when trailing price, the what's it called, the Chinku span, when that breaks above cloud. So we go there, we would have gone long at 1312 there. So we broke above and it fell. So you want to look for a sustained break, ideally. We've got like a consolidation zone there. See how that support, resistance there. So I mean, you could have gone long, pending that broke, because we have the trailing price above the cloud with a bullish cross. That would have been a good chance to buy at 1346 there. And this is going to be good support. When it comes down, it might bounce again. Go to the daily. Pointing down, when this crosses the Tenkan-sen, that's bearish. And it crosses the Kijun-sen, it's bearish. But we've got to bear in mind it's above the cloud, the trading price, and the current price is obviously above too. So that's bullish on the daily. See how we hit that support, Tenkan-sen at 1321. This would be the tests. They're 1405. H4 sideways, but we're above the current price, we're above the Kumo, and the trailing price is above Kumo too. Go to H1, and we're getting some support here, and we can have a cross on the trailing price. The Jenkinson and the Gibbonson lines they just coincided there exactly. So once that breaks, that might be quite bearish, especially if we go below the Kumo cloud there on current price. So we have a cross here, and we have a price to dump there, and then we could probably forecast some support. 1405. Remember, 1405 was the number. 1399 there. But that wraps up part 2. I could probably talk about charts all the time, so I apologise. 1405. So just remember that was a weekly thing. But it could be bearish on the hourly. Right, and thanks for sticking with me, and have a good day. And I'm going to do that COT report now. So yeah, all right, have a good weekend, and I'll speak to you later. See ya.